Hey guys, here's a quick video just to show you how I've been mounting and using my phone powered on the bike for the last couple of years, and it's worked wonderfully. I just realized that I'd shown all the bits and pieces of this in various videos, but I never did one cohesive one in case you want to do what I do. Now, I use my phone for a bunch of things on the bike, like streaming music, email, not necessarily while I'm riding, but sometimes at lights, taking calls. I like to see on the screen who's calling, even though it's completely hands-free going to my Cena. I still want to know if I should answer or not, if it's spam or somebody I just don't have time to talk to, or something that's important. But the reason you want it powered is if you're like me and you use GPS apps or anything that's going to drain the battery. The two things most notably you're going to find on a motorcycle are anything that uses a GPS, like navigation, Waze, TomTom, Google Maps, Apple Maps, whatever you want to use. If it's using the GPS radio or receiver, it's going to suck down the battery. The other thing is if you're riding in locations with low or no cell coverage, the phone goes into full power mode searching for that signal, and that sucks down the battery big time. So if you're not powered, you might have an hour or two, depending on your phone, before it runs out of juice. So here's my solution. Now, I don't have anything on this phone, and this is in a ram mount X grip. And I have a lot of people that say, boy, is that really secure? I mean, it doesn't look very secure to me. Well, what sold me was a video on their channel of basically an off-road bike, just jumping and flipping and crashing, all this kind of stuff. And the camera's right here, sitting on the end of the bar, and it's looking at the mount, and it doesn't move. It just doesn't care. So I've loved this. I've had it for a couple years. There is a new version out, though. Came out many months ago, actually, to put your mind at ease. What they did is they glued these tips down, which of course you can do yourself if that's an issue. And that was an issue because people would put really big cases on here and not seat it fully down. So what would happen is the phone was contacting up here on this slant, and just from the riding vibration, it would kind of wedge itself off. So they just super glue them down, fixes that problem. But if you make sure the phone is completely down on the device before you let go of the bars, that's not an issue anyway. But they also have a rubber strap on the new version that just goes around the corners, so it absolutely keeps it in. Even if these pegs fell off, it wouldn't go anywhere. So I have every confidence in this. Of course, I use it right, so I have no incentive to upgrade to the new one, but if you're unsure, just pick up a new one and you get the strap and you're all good. But this is how it looks naked. If it's going to rain, or if I think it's going to rain, I put this in a case. Now, my case of choice happens to be a Life-Proof, just because it is the easiest to get in and out fairly quickly. I don't use it that often. It's completely waterproof, and it does soak up a little bit of vibration if that's an issue for you. But other than that, I never use a case on my phones. I'm not really Butterfingers. I don't drop it, so that's the only time I put a case on here, is if I'm riding on the bike and it's going to possibly get wet. Other than that, it just stays naked. Now, as far as power, the FJR, of course, your bike is, if you don't have an FJR, it's going to be different. You might have a power plug in the vicinity here. You might have a battery tender pigtail that you can tap into, or you might have a distribution block, or you might have to add something. All right, well, the point is you need 12-volt power somewhere. The FJR has a cigarette style power outlet in here, and in that I plug in this little guy. You can get these anywhere: Amazon, Walmart, Home Depot, it doesn't matter. I got this at Walmart. I think it was like $4, if that. They come in single, double, and I've seen triple slot designs. I got a double just because that's all I need. I have a slot for my phone, and sometimes I will need to plug in my GoPro remote if I'm using it. And, it's only good for a few hours worth of use using Wi-Fi, so it doesn't have that big of a battery in there. So I'll plug that in if I need to run that for extended times. The important thing to deal with the phone is that at least one of the slots has a 2.1 amp capacity. The cheaper ones of these, they're only going to have the 1 amp slots. So you want to make sure you have at least one 2.1 amp. That's going to power your phone at full speed. If you plug your phone into a lower amp slot, it may not even catch up with the drain rate. When the cord's plugged in, there's plenty of slack. There's basically a little foam seal surrounding this door to just lay it out here, close it. Keeps this completely watertight. It's a very small flexible power cord any phone cord is going to be. And it just comes up, and you just want to make sure there's enough slack to turn your bars to full lock. And that's all there is to it. Really simple, extremely inexpensive. You might have to buy an extra phone cord, you know, that's about it. Most people are going to have a case already, and you just want to make sure it's obviously a waterproof case. Some cases aren't, some are, so that might be an expense for you. And that's it. That's how I've been doing it. It works absolutely perfectly for me. It's quick, it's easy, it's very dependable, and quite inexpensive. All right, that's it, guys. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, give me a thumbs up, and we'll see you next time.